Well, we have breaking news out of New Hampshire as Democrat Senator Jeanne Shaheen will not seek re-election in 2026, which is yet another big blow for Democrats in the Senate.
That purpose has never and will never change. But today, after careful consideration, I'm announcing that I have made the difficult decision not to seek re-election to the Senate in 2026.
As this the third major retirement for Democrats for 2026. Yeah, there's already been 3 retirements when you include Jeanne Shaheen. You had Tina Smith in Minnesota retire. You had Gary Peters in Michigan retire. Now you have the Democrat senator in New Hampshire, which I know New Hampshire's not really this huge swing state. And in fact, in recent years, it has become a bit more of a Democrat state. But either way, these are not states that Democrats win by 80 points in. No, these are states that, hey, maybe if Republicans run a good candidate, they could maybe win, say, Michigan, say, New Hampshire. And that's why it's not good for Dems that all these senators, they're retiring. They're saying, nope, we're not running again. You guys can deal with it. That's what these guys are doing. Again, if this was just one person like Jeanne Shaheen, yeah, it would be kind of a blow for Dems, but at least it's not the end of the world. Like, it's New Hampshire. It's a, relatively speaking, a solid Democrat state. Even in 2024, Harris won the state by what? 3 points? Yeah, in recent years, this was kind of a pathetic showing, but at the bare minimum, she still won it by 3. So, on paper, Democrats would still have a decent pathway here. But now that you factor in, oh yeah, Gary Peters in Michigan, he retired. Tina Smith in Minnesota, she retired as well. And now there's rumors circulating that Mark Warner of Virginia, yes, that Virginia, might be retiring as well. A reminder that Trump lost Virginia by just under 6 points. So that's up to 4 Democrat senators in these states that, they're not the most competitive in the world, but theoretically, if Republicans ran someone like Youngkin in Virginia, they could maybe flip it. So it's like, what's going on here? Why are all these guys retiring basically at the same time? Now, Democrats, they're claiming, no, this is actually good news for the Democrat Party because they know 2026 is going to be such a big blue wave that they're all retiring because they don't have to worry about losing their seat, which I know that seems kind of logical, like, maybe, like, okay, fine. Democrats know they're going to do good in 26, so they can tell these guys, hey, just retire, you guys can leave now, you're getting up there in age, we don't want to run the risk of you dying in office or something, so just retire. But I dispute that for one simple reason, just one simple reason why I think that argument's BS. And of course it relates to Jeanne Shaheen. All right, she announced her retirement today, which on paper doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, oh, who cares? She announced her retirement on March 12th. Well, what's the big deal about that? Well, just a day ago, all right, one day ago on March 11th, all right, the Washington Times was reporting that Chris Sununu, who was a very popular Republican governor, who many people, including myself, thought would win the Senate race in New Hampshire easily, is reconsidering launching a campaign for New Hampshire Senate in 2026. And this came out of nowhere because everyone thought that he's done politically. Chris Sununu, he had his chance in 2022. Still to this day, I don't get what he was trying to accomplish there. Like, dude, if you would have ran in 22, you would have won easily. You would have won by like 15 points, and you would have given the Republicans a 50-50 Senate, right, in 2022. Instead, Sununu did not run because he thought, oh, if I don't run, I can oppose Trump in the primary for 24 and be the nominee. That was a strategy. Well, guess what? It blew up in his face. And now, out of nowhere, Chris Sununu is saying, you know what? I'm going to reconsider launching my campaign. I might run for Senate in 2026 after all. And then a day later, all right, after this dropped, Jeanne Shaheen announced, yeah, you know what, I'm retiring. I wonder why she retired. It's as if they know Chris Sununu is a very strong candidate and would absolutely wipe the floor with basically any Democrat, including Jeanne Shaheen, in the state. Just look at this poll from New Hampshire Journal. They found Sununu +8 over Shaheen. Yeah, +8. So Sununu, who again I have my problems with, would easily win. And he is considering launching a bid for 2026. And then the next day, the Democrat retires? It's as if Democrats realize that, oh, wait, Chris Sununu might be running, and we might be in trouble here. We gotta try something different quick. Shaheen, get out of here. Or she just said, you know what, I don't want to lose to Sununu. I'm just gonna retire. Either way, that's not a good look for Dems. Because if Sununu runs, even if they run their best candidate in New Hampshire, Chris Pappas, even if they run that guy, Sununu still wins. Maybe by like 2 to 3 points, but he still wins. And that is a disaster for Democrats. I mean, just look at the Senate map for 2026. And you may realize something very quickly. This map is horrible for Dems. Because right now, Republicans have 53 Senate seats, okay? Democrats have 47. For them to get the 50, not a majority, just get the 50-50, they need to flip 3 seats. So even if they flip Maine, they flip North Carolina, it's not enough. I know they still got Murkowski, who is going to vote against Trump no matter what. I get that. But even then, that would be 50-50 in that scenario. And J.D. Vance would be the tie-breaking vote. So Democrats right now already are in a lot of trouble because they needed 3 flips to even get the 50-50. And with the current map, does anyone really think Ohio would flip? Give me a freaking break. This happens every year. Democrats are going to make a comeback in Ohio. It never happens. Democrats are going to get killed in Texas, Florida. Iowa, they're going to run someone there? That's the problem for Dems. They need to run the table in every swing state. Just to even get the 50-50, even then, their best case scenario, more than likely, is 49. But now, all of a sudden, it's not just, oh, they have to flip North Carolina and Maine. No. Now, they have to hold on to Georgia, which I think Brian Kemp's going to win easily there. They have to hold on to Michigan, another state that Trump won. They have to hold on to Minnesota, who, again, Democrats are going to run someone, they're going to win, but Tina Smith was going to win by 30 points or whatever. Now it's like, hold up. Now you don't have the incumbent there, and there might be a bad primary. Again, it's unlikely, but now they have to defend Minnesota. And now they have to potentially defend New Hampshire. Now it's not just 2 states that got to win. No, they have to win 6, and if you include Virginia, 7. They have to run the table in every single state to just get to 49. So if Republicans win just Georgia, which I think they're going to, I think they're going to win Maine as well. Well, the Democrats can win everything else and they still lose. You see the problem here? The Democrats' pathway to the Senate in 26, it's dead. It was already dead. But now, Democrats have to run the table in 7 states just to get the 49 Senate seats. Not even a majority, not even 50-50. Just to barely get to 49. You see the problem now. And who knows, maybe Republicans, with having such a good map, maybe they can expand the majority. Maybe they hold on to North Carolina. Maybe they can flip Michigan, which Democrats in Michigan, that primary is looking like a disaster. And or they get stuck with Pete Buttigieg. So good luck with that one. New Hampshire, you might have Chris Sununu run, who wins, more than likely. So all of a sudden, Democrats go from, hey, having a somewhat decent chance of picking off, North Carolina and Maine and get it to 49 Senate seats to, wait, even if we win both of these seats, which I still think Collins wins in Maine, but let's just say they win both these seats. Well, they still have to defend Georgia. They still have to defend New Hampshire, Virginia, Michigan, Minnesota. If Republicans win 2 of these 5, now it's 53 again. So Democrats gained nothing. Do you see the problem for Dems here? Again, this is not a good sign for them that Democrats like Gary Peters, Tina Smith, Shaheen, Mark Warner might retire as well. The fact these are all retiring now, it's not good. And there's a good chance that some of these primaries could be absolutely brutal, like in Minnesota, like potentially in Michigan. That's our problem. They have to spend so much time and money on places like Michigan for the primary. While Republicans, it sounds like they're getting behind Mike Rogers, for example. It sounds like they will get behind Chris Sununu in New Hampshire. And again, Chris Pappas is a Democrat. He's probably going to win the primary. But It's a 100% guarantee that he runs. That's the biggest problem here. Again, same thing with Sununu. He's not a guarantee. He's not going to run either. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, why would Shaheen immediately drop out just by the mere threat of Sununu running? It sounds like there's a good chance that they knew that he's going to run. And now they're saying, crap, we're screwed. Shaheen, get out of here. We got to try something different because Sununu is killing Shaheen in the current polling. Again, we're not going to know for a couple months, but I'm hoping Sununu runs. I'm not a big fan of him, but he's way better than Shaheen, okay? He's not perfect, but at least with Sununu, sometimes he'll vote in line with Trump. Sometimes. But which is not perfect, but way better than Shaheen, who votes like 99% against Trump. But we're not going to know for a couple months, but even then, it's just, this map already was bad for Dems, but now they have to worry about New Hampshire, which, you know, it's not a swing state per se, but it's still kind of competitive. I mean, Trump did very good there, even though most people thought that it might swing right, but Harris was going to win it by 7 points, not win it by barely 3 and with only 51% of the vote. That's for a Democrat in recent years. That was a pathetic showing. So now they have to defend Michigan, which is a Republican state, Georgia, which is a Republican state. They have to defend New Hampshire, which leans to the left. Minnesota leans to the left. That's not good. I don't care what people tell you on Twitter and stuff. That is not what Democrats wanted. They wanted to expand the map, get to 49, and then by 2028, win Wisconsin and like one other state, and they take back the majority. That was their plan. They did not want every single Democrat in swing states retiring. Far from it. They're like, oh God, Shaheen, please run. Oh God, Gary Peters stayed. Now we gotta get stuck with Pete Buttigieg. That's what Democrats wanted. But they didn't get that. They got the opposite. Every single one of them are retiring in the swing states. That's usually not a good sign. Because now you have to worry about primaries, now you have to worry about the party being not unified, worried about fundraising, you're worried about everything now. And you really just wanted to have a net gain of 2. Now you have to defend everything. I mean, at this point, if you're the Democrat Party, your best bets might be to just bank on winning all the Democrat states. Because at this point, I know it's very early, a lot could happen, but at this point in time, I don't see how Democrats get a net gain of even 1. Because they have to rely on everything going their way to even get 1 seat to flip, right? Or I should say a lot of things go their way. Like, yeah, they could win Maine and North Carolina, but that's not a guarantee that they get a net gain of seats. Because now they have to worry about Georgia, which Brian Kemp's going to win easily. You got to worry about Michigan, which Pete Buttigieg's a shit candidate, and Mike Rogers should win. So you start doing all the math and you realize, yeah, the Democrats are in a lot of trouble. Senate Democrats were banking on holding every single swing state and flipping North Carolina and Maine. But now, they have to spend so much money in these other states and so much time and stuff. Yeah, they may hold on to them, but now the chances of beating Susan Collins is going way down. Of even beating Thom Tillis. You have to run the table in all these states and then pray for a miracle that you could do just enough to flip 2 seats. Is it possible? Of course. Anything could happen. Democrats, they could theoretically do this where they run the table in every state. But now, they have to defend everything. And Republicans, they just got to flip a couple seats like Georgia, and they have their Senate majority secured for a long time. But we're not going to know until next year what the map's really looking like. Maybe another Democrat retires in, I don't know, Colorado or something. Again, that doesn't mean Democrats are going to lose that state. It just means that, oh, another state that's going to have potentially a divisive primary and potentially a state that we have to spend some money in. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.